1 month is simply insufficient for the serious reflection on the often untold past of people with a Nubian connection. In just this month, most of our schools will take a brief look back, but check just far enough, and isn't all our history black? And in one who knows his or her story by another's force was taken, these 130 days a little anger will awaken. Seems soul food cannot soothe it, nor wise words from Angelou, when days to consider our achievement or enslavement are so very few. Still, it's better than nothing, which is the reparation offered. For centuries of oppression, even apologies are not proffered. So, when I'm asked about our celebration in October, whilst as a start it may be great, like the Reverend Jackson, I must state, despite Obama, the struggle is still not over. That's a little taster. There's an amazing array of artists going to be coming up and sharing with you today. But the first guy I'm bringing up introduced me to one of the concepts that's kind of underlying this, this particular event. I wanted to make a connection with black history, but not just history as in characters from history, but actually our historical traditions for oral speaking and telling and storytelling. And a particular individual who introduced me to a word, I'd never heard the word griot until about somewhere between 5 and 7 years ago, the first time I saw this particular man perform. And since then it's kind of been woven into the sort of fabric of the work that I do with young people when I'm teaching about black history and when I'm teaching about poetry. And yeah, this man introduced me to it, so I'm going to let him introduce you to his idea of what the griot is. And his name is Alim Kamara.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you. My name is Alim Kamara. I come from a long line of griots, history keepers, wise men, storytellers, poets and musicians, who are known for traveling from village to village, community to community, sharing words, wisdom, music, to inspire people and remind them of who they are. And I remember growing up, and my cousin Maju decided he wanted to follow in the line of griots, but he decided that he wanted to learn how to play the djembe drum. And so we went to see a master musician, and he said, "Excuse me, sir, how much do you charge to teach drumming?" The master musician said, 3 silver pieces in the first month, and just 1 silver piece after that. My cousin Maju said, "Excellent, I shall start with the second month." It's a story about a man who comes home and sees his neighbor outside, and he's looking for something on the floor. And he says to him, "What's up?" He says, "I've lost my keys." He says, "I hope you look for them." And so they both get on the floor and they start looking for these keys. 10 minutes go by. And the man turns around to his neighbor and says, "Where did you lose your keys?" His neighbor says, "In the house." In the house. He said, "So why are we looking at here then?" He said, "Because there's more light out here." Now, many often the times when griots tell stories, they have what's known as a moral behind the story. And to me, notice I said to me, what that represented is a lot of the times, the things we're looking for have always been inside us.
The next person I'm going to introduce for you is the lady that really kind of introduced me to spoken word. She's been in this game longer than any of the people that are performing today, except maybe one. I'm not sure actually which one of them started first, but yeah, she was the woman that introduced me to spoken word. She's been running events in East London, even though she lives a long way away in West London. It's possible to get from one postcode to another without having an argument. And yes, she lives all the way over in West London, but she's managed to be running stuff at Stratford. She's done one-woman shows. She is an incredible, incredible performer.
Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise, dark girls, rise. Dark girls, rise. With your ebony, indigo and purple tones, and your smooth, smooth skin reminiscent of waterfall stones, polished to perfection, shiny and eye-catching. It's your plump, plump lips and your wide, wide nose, the dip in your back and the curve in your hip, your high rise behind cocked to perfection like well-made boiled dumplings. It's the natural sass in your walk and the deep, 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 deep tones when you talk. Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise, dark girls, rise, dark girls, rise. Don't look down, look up. Face your enemy, show them that you are a natural dark-skinned African queen beauty, not fake or contrived. You're exactly how a woman is supposed to be. Your hair, tight, blessed with thick coils of perfection, not nappy, but unrestricted and free, not nappy, but unsport and happy. Reject the creams which bleach and make your skin scream. I said reject the creams that bleach and make your skin scream. I said reject the creams that bleach and make your skin scream. Reject a society that does not consider you worthy. Reject a society that does not recognize your ancient blue, black beauty. Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise, dark girls, rise, dark girls, rise. Don't let anyone tell you you're ugly just because you're dark. You see, dark and ugly do not belong in the same sentence. Dark equaling ugly is a dirty lie, a dirty fallacy. Our ancestors did not suffer so we could be ashamed and riddled in internal pain, constantly rejecting Eurocentric ideals of femininity that exclude us, the very first true dark lady. For you are a true example of how a woman is supposed to be, with your ebony, indigo and purple tones and your smooth, smooth skin reminiscent of waterfall stones, polished to perfection, shiny and eye-catching, with your plump, plump lips and your dark, dark eyes, magical, mystical, historical, with your nose wonderfully wide, your African pride, your high rise behind, cocked to perfection, rotund and firm like well-made boiled dumplings. Is that dip in your back and the curve in your hips, the natural sass when you walk and the deep, 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 deep tones when you talk. Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise. Dark girls, rise. Dark girls, rise. I said rise, dark girls, rise. I said rise, dark girls, rise. Rise, dark girls, rise. Dark girls, rise. Dark girls, rise.
This is us, and it goes exactly 100% unequivocally like this. Life is now. Now is everything. Everything is love. Love is freedom. Freedom is forgiving. Forgiving is hard. Hard is death. Death is unknown. Unknown is the future. The future is fear. Fear is a thief. Thief is time. Time is psychological. Psychological is achievement. Achievement is overrated. Overrated is entertainment. Entertainment distracts. Distractions allow no growth. Growth is knowledge. Knowledge is strength. Strength is mental. Mental is society. Society is sick. Sick is man. Man is greed. Greed is discontent. Discontent is emptiness. Emptiness is more. More is a drug. And drugs are everywhere. Everywhere is home. Home is safe. Safe is conformity. Conformity is suicide. Suicide is sin. Sin is order. Order is slavery. Slavery is not Africa. Africa is ancient. Ancient are pyramids. Pyramids are black. Black is Tutmosis. Tutmosis built empires. Empires fall. Fall is history. History is invented. Invented is racism.
Racism is ignorance, and ignorance laughs. Laughter is forgetting. Forgetting is Palestine. Palestine is genocide. Genocide on American Indians are alcoholics. Alcoholics are Aborigines. Aborigines are few. Few is the elite. Elite is imperialism. Imperialism is politics, and politics lies. Lies kill. Killing is business. Business is war. War is profit, and profit is shared. Shared is iniquity. Iniquity is suffering. Suffering is real. Real is corruption. Corruption is money. Money is work. Work is routine. Routine is dullness. Dullness is the majority. Majority need truth, but truth is uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is homosexuality. Homosexuality is natural. Natural is God. God is the sun. The sun is existence. Existence is short. Short is devotion. Devotion is religion. Religion is written. Written is poetry. Poetry is space. Space is thought. Thought is this. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is us.
I always get asked, where are you from? My repeated reply is London, the town that sheltered the mother fleeing from war-torn land. Baby in belly given chance to be a man in a city of prosperity. She seeked jobs allowing her to keep her dignity independently living in a state. Not off it. Her benefit? One son. A bright boy of renewable energy. He knew all he'd ever be was a product of the city that had changed his destiny. They say, alright, but what country? I breathe deeply, swallow in sarcastic syllables, and exhale Great Britain. The island, throned in seas that channeled safety. She carried men to defend countryside scattered with towns full of factories, the curator of colonies. Voiced view, to keep view, exploit views, to heavily recruit natural warlocks, to fight aggressively. With strength and bravery, 52,000 casualties, Gurkha support over 2 world wars. Nearly 500,000 fought for Great Britain. I'm teasing them. Because though it's not a lie, I know it's not the desired response. And so I am not surprised when they reply, where are your parents from? See, I can't hide pigment skin within words with a fact or fiction, so I tell them I'm a product of miscegenation. That parents are from Jamaica and Scotland. Raised in England, they found life and made love in London to born and breed a British girl. So while I am an addict for hard food, I fiend for the smell of eggs and bacon in the morning. It's true, man, I had bacon sandwich today. I'm a sucker for a cuppa, and I will batter a fish and chips in less than 15 minutes. I was raised by the church and educated by EastEnders. Friday nights of teenage life were spent going on drink benders. I can't pretend, because all I know is GB. And I suppose on paper, I would read as an idle recruit for the BNP. When my balaclava too high so my eyes can't see the route of my journey to the RWB. Tickets to qualifications on my CRB. 5 for hate crimes would get me VIP, but a face-to-face interview would refuse my application on the grounds of which I walk and I'm not my birthright nation. Profile is proof of racial integration, defies the silent slogan of skin-based segregation, unless a tick box of white Caribbean is crossed, my rights are wrong and I should politely get lost. Pack bags to try to find where I belong, but before I'm forced to leave, I'll leave thoughts to ponder on. Where did you, your parents, and your ancestors come from? Thank you.
Quite often try and save this man for the end, but you know what? He's coming up now. He's been around. He has been around, and he's come back. Physically, he's been away and spent a big chunk of his life picking up an accent that might make you think that he's foreign, but he is a Brockley boy. Southeast 4, not that we're repping postcodes particularly, you understand? But yeah, it's hard for me, coming from SE4. I thought maybe you could hope to be the greatest poet from your postcode. You know, postcodes are like about half a mile? No. I happen to be not even in the top 3 probably, because there's a young lady called Kate Tempest that you may have heard of, and this geezer. Now I thought it was a Yank, but he was brought up in Brockley and he came back after spending some time away, and his words and his style of delivery inspire a huge amount of the young performers I see. 4 million, 5 million, we can't go back again. 6 million, 7 million, we lost our melanin. All because our music is lost. I no longer listen to negative hip hop because I'm lactose intolerant. I bit the wings off of Jim's crow and I snatched freedom from his claws. You see, I don't need a map to tell you where I'm black. The legend will point to which way is up. I was born between a rock and a black place, a dream and a drug state. I walk with Lucy's bones to force me to stand upright. Black man walking, casting sundial shadows on Plato fabrication and Socrates misrepresentation, sandblasted into the peaks of triangles, where half your fan base multiplied by the height of your fame equals a pyramid scheme. You put kinetics on a diet and now you spit Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard while Enron hovers at a miles of front page news and children killed by color affiliation don't even get post-op page views now. Can I spit it?
Yes, you can.
You fashion street thug terminology. And when faced with adversity, your first response is to curse at me and tell me where you're from. Brooklyn or Fairlawn, Austin or Boston, Boogie Town or Chi-Town. Yeah, your set be flossing, but weaves between the fabric of your, nigga, you know where I'm from? It's the reality that you slid down the trunks of elephants long before you slid down your panties. You pierced lions with your spears before you pierced your veins with white tears. The Messiah crafted your cries. And it's not a hard task to realize that the Bakuba spit off ivory barks and spit out wooden masks. Don't cover my expectations, brother. Sister, I got a whole nation of people that can draw you maps of where I came from. From the ghettos of the middle passages to the ghettos of project passages that inspire 13 bars of gangster rap passages I was spawned from past ages. So don't be surprised that I'm pissed at the shit that you spit. Now you spit it. See, I'm from a longitude of 30 degrees to the east and a latitude of 31 degrees west. So while you rub your skin with diseased ambient enlightenment, I'm left to live within the apocalypse of the stank stench of your leftover coon dance and backward heel-toe nigger prance. They don't pimp your culture and your natural kink. You can't find your third eye because your hood's been hoodwinked, bamboozled. Any means necessary to crack fiends and commissary. Seems like you're the CIA secondary. Black folk on short-term memory is legendary. Your ink blots of gang shots with children dropping sand lots, crack shut up weed spots, and these are all the images that your pieces breed. This is what you feed the masses. God damn it, black life is more than just black sadness. You're like an air conditioner trying to get your free on. You think you spitting cool stuff, but it's only hot air you be on. Scream of a First Amendment emancipation, spitting for a hand clap and reparations. See, we all need cheese in this rat race, but Cracker Barrels don't sell in bodegas, brother. Now can you spit it? You're doing nothing more than perpetuating an educational system that teaches our children inferiority before they can read. See Jane run. See Jamal with a gun. See Sarah and her white picket fence, but the only picket is in the fro of a singer named Wilson. And the only fence he know got an ing at the end. See, negative imagery and small sound bites cannot be looped on a CD and sold as righteous blinging. Just like crack rock in small doses can't be sold as less filling. You busy spending your life peddling wordplay, while our children are perfecting life sentences. Grow spiritual imagery. Catch the openings that fall through the cracks of humanity. Ain't nothing about our history a fallacy. Atma reality, freshly brewed, brain freeze atrophy. The capacity naturally sparks spitting factually. This faculty is a fact to me. 40 acres is still black man's casualty. Low carb, black toast, originality. And I ask you to answer me. Lil Wayne, Lil Jon, Lil Kim, all the Lils. Can you spit it? Well, go on then. Spit it.
One of the things we said is that everything that is written is already history. And so as we're sitting here, all of the ideas are already falling into our history. So the scope for what we can include in exploring that is pretty broad. It's pretty much everything that we can think of. So we're not confined by that concept. And you know, the other thing is that one of the reasons that Black history is lost is because we haven't actually recorded it. So if you're not recording the now, then you're not thinking about how we're going to move forward and ensure that our history, all history, the history of all people, is not just about Black people. There's one line in that BHM piece, if you check just far enough, then isn't all our history Black? Well, if you
go with scientific theory, we're all descended from Dinkunesh or Dinknesh or Lucy, if you really want to follow the European version, and therefore we can all claim black history. And so that means every piece of history could be black, and every piece of poetry will one day be history. This lady is certainly not history yet. Indigo Williams.
This poem is called Omo Oyibo, and I'm of Nigerian heritage. I'm Yoruba, and Omo Oyibo means white child, and that's what they called me when I was born. So this is Omo Oyibo. That's what they would call me if I returned with my mouth emptied of Yoruba, and my name's meaning miscarried in my mother tongue. Since the womb, I've been pushed out of every home I've known. My name is a squat I scraped together, reaching away from the gnaw of crooked teeth that left me jagged. My name is plaster over bite marks I hide under peeling layers. I feel tender. Sound me whole, because in the place of my birth, I am awkward as my mother's accent in a boardroom. She said to me once, "You're lucky you don't bear the burden of an African accent. Nobody questions your intelligence or pronounces you like a wound in the mouth."